Alright, in this problem we are asked to find the x-intercept. So that means on a graph, where will this equation, if we graph it, where is it going to cross this axis here? So when a point is on the x-axis, for example, let's say right here, that point right there, if I read it to you, is at 3, 0. So in other words, the x has a number and the y has a 0. So to find the x-intercept, we are going to plug in a 0 for the y and solve this equation here. Now we've learned in class many different methods to solve this equation. You could use a quadratic formula, you can complete the square, you could factor it, it's up to you. So go ahead, you can pause the video and go ahead and solve the equation, and then you can click play. I will tell you I will be solving it first by factoring, and if that doesn't work, then I'm going to attempt to use the quadratic formula. Okay, so if I decide to use the factoring method, it has to equal 0, which it does, and then I need to think of two numbers that multiply to 12, but they have to add or subtract to 8. So 6 times 2 is 12, but 6 plus 2 is not 8. If I make them both negative, then they still multiply to 12, and then they're going to add to negative 8. So my numbers are negative 6 and negative 2. Okay, then I set each factor equal to 0. So I'm going to have x minus 6 equal to 0, and x minus 2 equal to 0. And then I'm going to solve for x. We get x equals 6 and x equals 2. So what that tells us is that this graph is going to cross here at 2, so there's going to be a point right here. And then there's going to be a point here at 6. So that's what we know, that this parabola here, we don't know where the vertex is, we didn't find it here, but it's going to cross here at those 2 points. So the answer that we would write down is not x equals 6 and x equals 2. The x-intercept, this means what is the point? So we need to write our answer as an ordered pair. So when x is 6, the y value here for y was 0. So that's one x-intercept, and then also 2, 0. So that is our answer. Okay, now we're asked, same equation, but we're asked to find the y-intercept, so that means where will this parabola touch the y-axis. So I'm going to make up a point, so let's say right there. That point right there is at 0, 2, and it's on the y-axis. So that means x is 0 and y has the number, and the x is always 0. So I'm going to take the equation and I'm going to solve for y. To find the y-intercept, I need to solve for y, and I'm going to plug in a 0 wherever there's an x. So then 0 squared is 0, negative 8 times 0 is 0, and then we're just left with 12. So y is 12. So that means it's going to cross somewhere up here. When the graph crosses, whoops, let's take that back. Maybe it's something like that, and it's going to cross up here. The y-intercept is going to be 12 up there. So our answer is, when we plugged in for x, 0, the y is 12. So that is our y-intercept.